Hi, I'm Al, and today I'm going to talk about multi-factor authentication, the good, the bad, and the ugly. So, most people believe that the rest of the world is using MFA, when in fact that is not true. Large enterprises use MFA, but the vast majority of businesses do not use MFA. Not to mention, even in enterprises, only certain departments use MFA. In fact, 93% of employees globally are not using MFA. And that is because of one very fundamental ugly truth, which I will share with you now. First generation multi-factor authentication, which is based on push or QR code or OTP or SMS, cannot prevent credential phishing attacks, which is the #1 attack vector used by attackers. In fact, we have created a video. You can scan this QR code and check it out, how an adversary in the middle can take over a Microsoft account even though they have a long 16-character alphanumeric password and a push-based authentication setup. So what is the point of having MFA if it cannot protect against the most common credential phishing attacks? So that's the ugly truth. But it gets worse. The UX is absolutely horrible. When you think about it, imagine every time you opened your car door, you needed 2 devices. Or imagine every time you opened your home, you needed 2 devices. That is essentially what we do. Every time we need to get this device out of our pocket, unlock, and then you're logged in. The UX is bad. In fact, it is so bad that there is a term that has been invented called MFA fatigue. But fret not, there is also good news. And the good news is that AuthN by IDEE has solved all of these challenges, and in the following way. #1, you do not need a second device. So any PC, Mac, Android, iOS, or iPadOS device can be used to achieve MFA by itself without needing a second device. #2, our solution prevents all credential phishing and password-based attacks, including adversary in the middle attacks. And it is super easy to deploy. It just takes a few minutes to deploy it. And what I'm going to do next is I'm going to show you how you can deploy AuthN by IDEE in just a few minutes. First, I'm going to show you how admins can federate their domain and integrate with AuthN by IDEE. Thereafter, I'm going to show you how a user can enroll their device and then authenticate. Let's get started. First, what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy a couple of scripts and add them to the Graph Explorer. I want to create a subdomain called demo on the authn.getid.com domain, and I am going to run this post command. That is all it takes to create a subdomain. Voila. The next step is to promote this subdomain that I just created to a root domain, and that is this command. I'm going to run it. I don't need a request body for it. I just run it, and that's it. It is now promoted to root. And the very last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to federate this domain. And to do that, I'm going to again copy the script into the request body, and I'm going to run this query. Takes a few milliseconds and my domain is federated. That is all I need to do on the Microsoft side. Now I'm going to go to the AuthN integration portal. I'm going to security login, and I will create a brand new integration. I'm going to select Microsoft demo integration. I'm going to name it. I'm going to go here, type in demo.authn.getid.com. I'm going to select the WebAuthn only un-phishable method and click on Save Changes. That's it. Now I have officially set up my integration between Microsoft and Microsoft 365 and AuthN by IDEE. Before I get the users to self-service their enrollment, I need to quickly set up an alias, because if you remember, we are creating this setup in such a way that you can use your normal authentication method on the main domain, and on the subdomain you can use AuthN. So you can use both of them side by side and compare them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a simple alias. I'm going to click on the user, add a very simple alias, and save changes. That's it. Now what I've done is I've created a very simple solution where if I sign in using al@demo.authn.getid.com, the authentication method that is provided to the user is phish-proof WebAuthn. And if I use al@authn.getid.com, then it is my normal authentication method with Microsoft Authenticator. Let's see how that works. So here I am at Microsoft 365 login. I'm going to type in al@authn.getid.com, and obviously I'm asked to select an account, and this is my normal Microsoft login with a password and a push-based authentication. And now if I were to use al@demo.authn.getid.com, I will be asked to sign in using AuthN. But before I sign in, I need to set up my device. So that is what we're going to do next. So setting up the device, any device, is super fast and easy. And I'm going to show you how it's done now. So I'm going to enroll my Mac with AuthN. So all I do is click on sign in at the Microsoft 365 portal. I'm brought to this page, AuthN page, where I must set up my device. I'm going to click on unlock, and I'm just going to simply unlock my device. In my case, I use Touch ID, but you can also use a PIN. You can use the same method on Windows, on a Windows PC. It's super easy. Now, what I have received is what's called a secure magic email. And this is unique because it allows me to set up the device with just one click. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to click on this secure magic link, and it's going to open this in a new tab. My email is verified. When I go back to the previous tab, my device is set up. That's it. Now all I have to do is click on login, and I have to unlock my Mac again, and I am logged in. Super easy. It just takes a few seconds. Now I'm going to show you how easy it is to set up my second device. And in my case, I'm going to use my smartphone. And I'm going to switch to this account. Once again, I'll be redirected to the login page. In this case, I'm going to click on add another device, unlock, same concept. unlock my Mac, and now I've been given a QR code to scan, which I'm going to scan using my smartphone. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to simply scan this QR code using my camera. That is going to open a web page where I can set up my smartphone as an authenticator. And all it takes is for me to unlock. In my case, I'm going to use Face ID, and I'm done. That is all it takes to set up my smartphone as a second authenticator device. Now, if I go to portal.office.com, use another account, I'm going to sign in. I'm going to be redirected to the login page. I click on login, I unlock my device, and that's it. I'm logged in once again to Microsoft 365. Thank you for your time. My name is Al.